I met my husband in 2002 in the hotel in Cuba that I was visiting for a week. In 2005, we were married. I sponsored him, and he came to Canada in 2006.
Lui et moi, nous nous sommes rencontrés comme ça dans une salle de chat. De fil en aiguille, je me suis beaucoup attachée à lui aussi à moi, c'est ce que je croyais.
We knew each other a little bit, that's why I trusted her.
La demande en mariage est venue très, très vite, comme 3 semaines plus tard. Et j'ai dit oui.
I didn't find anything untoward before he came to Canada.
Sometimes you have a Canadian permanent resident who meets a foreign national, perhaps while they're traveling or over the internet, and becomes convinced it's a genuine relationship, whereas in fact the foreign national is using the relationship merely to get into Canada, and the sponsor has been tricked. In other situations, unfortunately, Canadians are part of the fraud.
After marriage, everything changed, and after she arrived in Canada, I was nothing to her.
When he left on the 24th of March in 2007, it all came crashing down. I felt that he had now accomplished what he set out to do. He had gotten his permanent residency, he had gotten his work card, he had gotten his health card, he was with his friends, and I realized then that this was all false.
After she left me, I filed a police complaint, and police informed me after 3 days, like she's good in health and she's found, but they said she doesn't want to come to you.
The financial obligations of a sponsor are that you are responsible for a period of 3 years for the person that you sponsor to come into the country. So if the person you sponsor uses social assistance during that period, you'll be responsible for that and will have to repay that debt.
Finalement, l'aide sociale, évidemment, j'en paye pour les 10 mois qu'il en a profité. Donc, j'en ai pour un bon 30 000 $.
It's around $40,000. It's too much. It's too much for me. I had to pay my lawyer fee. I sent her ticket. So all my marriage expenses.
J'ai envoyé de l'argent là-bas parce qu'il me disait qu'il en manquait ou qu'il en devait à d'autres.
First of all, I remortgaged my home, then bringing gifts and clothes, not only to his family members, but to his neighbors and anyone he knew.
There are a lot of legal consequences for engaging in marriage fraud. It is fraud. There are the possibility of criminal sanctions, which can include a fine of up to $100,000 or imprisonment up to 5 years or both.
Actually, I am a little bit strong person. I try to recover everything, but sometimes, yeah, it hurts.
J'ai perdu beaucoup de confiance en moi. J'ai fait une bonne dépression avec des pensées suicidaires.
I had to be medicated and be off work. All of it, it became too much. I thought that I was a worthless person that didn't deserve to be happy.
CIC has adopted a couple of new rules. First, people in new relationships, a relationship of 2 years or less where there's no child in common, receive a permanent resident status. During the first 2 years after their arrival in Canada as permanent residents, they have to maintain a genuine relationship with the person who sponsored them. If they don't, they could have their permanent resident status removed and be asked to leave Canada. Secondly, we have a new provision that someone who is sponsored to come into Canada for a period of 5 years, they cannot turn around and sponsor a new spouse or partner. We will detect the fact that it's a fraudulent marriage. You can be forbidden to enter Canada for a period of 2 years. Even if you get to Canada and it's detected afterwards that it was a fraudulent marriage, you'll be subject to a deportation.
They make us believe like they love us so much. So We only get to know when it happens, like when they leave us.
Quand je dis que j'étais sous le joug, c'est vraiment ça.
Honestly, I really never saw it coming. I thought that he was different, and I think you just have to be very careful. There are so many people across Canada that are suffering nowadays from the exact same thing that happened to me.